その意味においては、この鍵は黄金鏡の扉を開くものじゃないと言い切れるわね。
しかし物騒な鍵です。6人もの生贄を選ぶ鍵なんて。
鍵がどうやって選ぶんや。ルーレットみたいにくるくる回すんかいな。
A key that spins like a roulette.
この鍵がある特定の6人を指し示す。いいえ、ある特定の6つを指し示すというべきね。もしこれが文字通りに生贄を捧げろという意味でないならば、例えばアナグラムかもしれないわ。
アナグラム？文字遊びのことかね。
ええ、さっきローザさんが家系図の話でマリアちゃんの名前に里が含まれてという話をしていた時からずっと考えてるの。例えばルドルフさんは懐かしき故郷という単語からずっと地形的座標的なものを想定しているようだけど、そうじゃないかもしれない。これはある種の謎々、あるいは文字遊びかもしれないって。
I mean, yeah, that's also a possibility.
ごめんなさい。文字遊びとは何ですか？
カモメカモメカチンカチンみたいなやつさ。カを抜いたらな。
The E's and the R's? Suck? Okay. Okay. I see where you're going with that.
みたいね。夏日さんは育ちがいいから知らねえだろ。
カを抜くと？え？
Maybe it's best if you don't think about it too much.
よしなさい。君にはふさわしくない品のない遊びだ。
Only Natsuri didn't get it and had a blank look on her face. He said that she had only guessed the answer had to be something undignified. After hearing Rudolph and Eva's snickers.
あ、夏日姉さん、こういうことです。
Rosa, don't explain it.
マリアの謎々ブックにあったんですけどね。
Oh, okay.
タヌキの手紙っていうのがあるんです。
The Tanuki notebook.
タの文字がいっぱい混じった暗号みたいな手紙があるんだけど、タの文字を抜くとそこに正しい文章が浮かび上がるみたいな、そんな遊びがあるんですよ。
So, if we remove a specific letter in the epitaph, it reveals a different, it reveals different sentences?
ああ、なるほど。
Natsuki finally realized the answer to the undignified riddle Rudolph had posed, and her face grew red as she hung her head in embarrassment. Oh, Nappy.
その抜くというのが案外殺すというのに転じるかもね。ええ、私もそれを思ったところなの。黄金鏡の鍵とはひょっとすると6文字の単語かもしれない。
A word with 6 characters. Q-U-A-D-R... Nah, that's not it. A word with 6 characters.
つまりタヌキの手紙の「タ」が6文字あるっちゅうわけか。
110... Nah, that's... I mean, we're not talking about letters, we're talking about numbers here, and there are only 5 digits. So, clearly that's not it.
これはややこしいこっちゃな。
Tanuki? Yeah, that does have 6 characters. Is Tanuki the answer?
文字遊びか。日本では子供の遊びという印象が強いが、特に英語圏では知識人のこじゃれたユーモアでもあるらしい。親父殿が関心を示すことは十分に考えられるね。
ただここで急にわからなくなるの。ここまでの流れは謎に満ちていながらも非常に順番的だった。 鮎の皮、それを下れ、そして鍵を見つけろと非常に順番的。
True. It's like a map that you try to follow.
そしてその結果、6文字の鍵を手に入れたと仮定するんだけど、そうすると何から6文字を殺すのかわからなくなるの。
そういやそうだな。6文字を何から引くんだ。その提示がないな。
第2の番に残されし者はとある。
Extract the 6 characters from. Quad? Hold on. How many letters does quadrillion have? Q-A... Q-U-A-D-R-E-L... Two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7. It has 11 characters. If you remove like any 6 characters from it, you have 5. I mean, it kind of depends. What characters can we remove from quadrillion to get what we need? Quadr? Leon? Alien? Yeah, I mean, I do know the word quadrillion. We could subtract 6 characters from it, but it kind of depends what characters we can subtract from that.
ということは、少なくともその何かは有限の文字数なのよ。そこから6文字を抜いて残った文字で話を進めろと読み解けるわ。
Yeah.
なのに、最初に提示があるべき何かがわからないの。
Quadi?
やっぱり文字遊びという過程が間違っているのかしら。
Everyone crossed their arms and fell into silence. It felt like they were about to reach a noble understanding that they hadn't been able to before, but they stumbled just one step before it. At the time, Hideyoshi's stomach grumbled heartily. Oh, he says that we're gonna need to eat some. And the silence up until dinner was broken by laughter.
すまんすまん。珍しく普段使わん頭を回したもんですっかり空腹になってしもた。
Yeah, that's pretty understandable. But yeah, finally we're getting some discussion over here about the epitaph, and I could get. I think I may. Well, I don't think that I may be onto something over here, but there might be some important hints over here that can help me. Quadrillion. I mean, I do remember that one time when Beatrice was laughing at Balor once more after ending the battle with Virgilia. And how Beatrice sneakily put the word quadrillion in her sentence and all that. And like out of all the words that you can say, like million, billion, trillion, she says quadrillion. And recently I've been thinking about the lines like at the door of the chapel over here. Coincidence? I think not!
やはり朝食抜きは答えるわ。なあ。
夏日、ここには何かないのかね。
軽食の備え程度があったはずです。用意しますね。
俺も腹ペコだ。上のガキどもも腹ペコだろうよ。しかし18人分も、そして3食もここに備蓄があるのかはちょいと疑問だね。
そうやな。明日まで長丁場や。一度屋敷に戻って厨房で缶詰の類でも漁った方がええかもしれんな。
クラッカーとおつまみくらいしかありませんが、それでよければ準備できます。でもこの人数ではお昼の分も残らないかも。
今はそれでいい。すまんが準備してくれんかね。
It looked like the men had been taken over with an appetite that stopped all thought. The atmosphere grew even more peaceful, and the appetite investigation meeting broke up for the time being. But Eva kept staring at the paper the appetite was written on like she was going to burn a hole through it.
文字遊びはあくまでも私の仮説。それが間違ってる可能性もあるわ。エヴァさん、あまり根詰めないで。
ありがとう。私の勝手でやってるの。放っといてくれないかしら。
Eva spoke coldly. Kiria didn't bother her anymore, and wanted to help Natsuki prepare breakfast.
姉さん、私たちも朝食の準備手伝った方がよくない？
じゃああんたが手伝いなさいよ。私はこれを解くので忙しいの。
ごめんなさい。じゃあ私手伝ってくるわね。
まったく、なんであなたはそんなの？この碑文を解いた人間が後ろ宮家の家督を譲られるのよ。あなたは関係ないと初めから諦めているようだけど、もしも解ければローザにだって家督を引き継げるチャンスがある。あの兄さんから全てを奪うチャンスなのよ。どうしてその千載一遇のチャンスをあなたは真剣になって挑めないの？
それは。
Rosa hung her head, troubled over how she should answer. She regretted, for the first time in a while, carelessly speaking to her sister when she was in a bad mood.
あんたも何か気づいたことがあるんなら言いなさいよ。私やキリエさんは真剣に推理してたのに、あんたは相槌ばかりだったじゃない。ほら、何か気づいた点はないの？ほら。
Alright, come on. Eva, I'm sorry for being really harsh here about what I'm about to say, but in my eyes, I see that you are just trying to squeeze any ideas Rosa may have in her mind, so that you will solve the epitaph. Not necessarily that you want your younger sister to try and succeed in life or anything. Like, if I'm wrong, then prove me wrong. Otherwise, just leave Rosa alone and just calm yourself.
これ不思議よね。
不思議？何が？
黄金鏡っていう単語よ。何度も出てくるわよね。黄金鏡って単語。
それが何よ。黄金鏡を文字分解すると何かキーワードにでもなるの？
そうじゃなくて、ほら、この第10の番だけおかしいでしょ。みんな黄金鏡なのに、なぜかここだけ黄金の里なの。
いいな。黄金鏡、黄金の里。
わざわざ「の」が1文字混じるのよね。どうしてここだけ言い方が違うのか漠然と気になってて。
Okay. You know, I guess it is time for me to address this. Like, this is something that I have been questioning on the back of my mind, like, since the beginning of the second game, but now we have this. So, in the 07th mod, which is what I did for the first game, I swear that the 10th Twilight said it differently. Like, I don't have the means to check it like right now. I can do so after this, but I do not remember the epitaph having the words "Home of the Gold." Like, it was mostly, well, Golden Land. But now, right here in the Umineko Project version that I'm playing for the second game and the third game, it is Home of the Gold. I do not like this. Like, since Rosa is mentioning this, it means that my theories would vary depending on which version I have at this point. I mean, what would Rosa even say in this situation if this was the 07th mod instead of the Umineko Project mod? Is it the same? Or is it different? I honestly don't know, but I'm surely not liking this. Like, if you make different versions of a game, like, please be consistent with the wording of puzzles. Like, especially puzzles as important as this. Like, unless this isn't really changing anything, like, maybe you guys can help me in reassuring that there won't be any future confusion created by the differences in these versions. Like, if you are to create different versions, then at least try to make the puzzles, like, exactly the same as they were originally intended. Oh, at least from a translation perspective, I can... I don't know if this is a translation error of sorts. And honestly, since this comes from the PS3 version, I assume that this is the original translation of the of the Japanese version, and 07 mod decided to change things up a little bit, or maybe it's the other way around. Or maybe both the Umineko project and 07 mod are completely different from the PS3 original English version that it was translated. Like, maybe there are like 50 versions of this puzzle, which honestly, that's that's horrific. That's spooky. That's yabai.
別に意味なんてないわよね。
Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm like I'm being what is the word? Like, I'm missing a word over here. Like, I'm being too precautious, or maybe I'm exaggerating. Not that won't be the. I don't think that's the right word. Like, I'm worrying over nothing or something like that. I don't know.
お父様のことだもの。ちょっとした言葉のあやでたまたま言い方を変えただけかもしれないしね。
つまらん。
おや、何がつまらないのですか？
つまらんつまらん。
はてさて、この子が何をぼやいているのかさっぱりですよ。
おそらくマダムがバトラ様にいろいろと入れ知恵をしたのが不満なのでしょう。
Hints? Well, you mean the epitaph? Or, no, wait, is she referring to the battle we had before with the tide lock rooms? Yeah, that has to be it.
別にそんなの不満ではないぞ。不甲斐ないバトラがようやくわらわに釣り合うレベルになったので、むしろ満足してるくらいだぞ。
少しバトラ君と仲良くしすぎましたか。
Okay, so she is referring to Beller. Okay. I was about to say, like, it seems that Beller and Virgilia talked about the epitaph while I was not there. But then again, I was focusing on the adults talking about the epitaph, which, you know, I did get quite a lot of information out of that. That might actually help me in continuing with my investigation of the epitaph. There were a lot of things right over there that I can totally check.
若い子同士に任せて老人は退散した方がいいのかしら。
When Virgilia ran away, giggled and cackled. Beatrice's irritation meter finally reached its limit. I did notice this like a while ago, but I love how Bronoe, our lovely Keanu over here, has like a tiny little wing on her monocle over there. That's pretty cute.
揃いも揃ってわらは笑い物にしようって。ロノウェ、しばし姿を消せ。消えろ消えろ。
かしこまりました。それではしばしのお暇をいただきます。
Oh, Keanu. Runaway bowed his head, still laughing, and hit himself. After that, all that remained was the figure of Beatrice, who was grumpy and irritated, and Virgilia, who was coolly enjoying her tea.
この島に19人以上いないと言ったあの赤がむしろあなたを追い詰めました。
やっぱりな。ちょっと早いかなと思ったんだが、やっぱ早かったかな。
彼をもっと迷走させてからならともかく。全くにもって無駄な切り札でしたよ。
Yeah. I mean, that red truth basically was like the final push that made Beller accept that, well, in this case, it has to be one of the 18 people. Nothing I can do about it at this point. So, now he's considering one of the 18 as the culprit.
むしろ彼を奮起させてしまいました。
In addition to his victory condition of denying the witch, Beller had held on to a different victory condition, since he had wanted to explain things without suspecting any of the 18. And he'd been at his weakest when he was being tossed about by these two opposing goals. However, Beatrice had used a rare carelessly, and had proclaimed that there were no more than 18 people. Because of that, Beller had been forced to suspect one of the 18. And he had finally begun to build up the readiness that he needed to accept that. Beller was stubborn, but because of that, when he was struck where he was fragile, fissures would crack all over him, like breaking china. That itself should have been his greatest weak point.
前回圧勝だったんで、ちょいと油断が過ぎたかな。
ええ、油断が過ぎましたね。
Yep, too careless. I won't lie. In the second game, you were a complete champion. Yeah, you just kept throwing all these confusing locked rooms and red truths and, like, magic visions and those horrific moments at the end with the bad cat, but now it feels like you're stumbling on each one of them. I mean, not to mention the hints that I got from the adults here, which I feel like are super important and may help me in, like, investigating once again. And there's also that. Like, I'm not saying that all this is a walk in the park now, and you still are a tremendous opponent. Reason why I still believe you may screw with us big time from now on. As long as you don't leave too many openings, that is.
前回はバトラ君にとって難易度の高いゲームでしたが、どうやら今回はあなたにとって 難易度の高いゲームになりそうですよ。
割れた壺は決して元に戻ることはない。未練がましくかけらを拾うより他の手を考えた方が建設的というもの。しかしすっかり知恵をつけたバトラにどう仕掛ければよいというのか。
炉の上のクッキーよりあなたが困っている顔の方がお茶菓子にぴったりですよ。
バトラもお師匠様も炉の上までもわらわを茶化扱いだ。わらわは決して甘くはないというのに。
With a shameful, childlike face that she would never have shown in front of Beller, Beatrice rolled her head around on top of the table.
お師匠様、せめてヒントを。
おや、何のヒントですか？
バトラをギャフンと言わせてわらわを認めたくなるようなうまい指し手を。ズバリ教えろとは言わないから、せめてヒントだけでも。
ダメですよ。私は今バトラ君の味方をしていますから。あなたに利することは教えられません。
そんな固いこと言わずにさ、弟子が困ってるというのに。
師匠を超えたと散々豪語していた気がしますが。
年寄りらしく老快な知恵を一発授けてくれよ。頼むよ。バトラにばっかりずるいってよ。
もう相変わらずのだだっこですね。でも確かにちょっとバトラ君にヒントを与えすぎたかもしれませんね。あなたのお灸にはなったけど、フェアなゲームとしては少し肩入れをしすぎたかもしれない。
そうであろう、そうであろう。頼むよ、お師匠様。せめて今後のヒントだけでも。
ヒントだけですよ。意味は自分で考えるのですよ。
自分で考えるからさ、頼むよ。バトラをケチョンケチョンにできるやつを頼むよ、お師匠様。
Yeah, what is it that you can offer Beatrice, so they may be in her advantage? Can you do it? Can you do it? Pretty please. Wait, I'm supposed to be helping Beller over here. The fuck am I doing here? It was truly shameful how she behaved when Beller wasn't around, even though she acted utterly like a great witch in front of him. But Gia sighed, lamenting under her breath that Beato never seemed to grow up.
ではヒントだけ。イソップ寓話の北風と太陽というお話を知っていますか？
もちろん。旅人のマントを奪うために北風と太陽が勝負する話であろう？
そうです。乱暴かつ性急な方法が常に最善の選択肢とは限らないということです。
言われなくても分かっておるわ。わらわが勝ちを焦りすぎたことはすでに反省しておる。
意味はよく考えることですよ。それからバトラ君も少々誤解があったようですが、あなたにも誤解があるようです。あなたはこのゲームの勝利条件を理解していますか？
バトラを屈服させることの他に何があるというのか。
ほら、その時点でもう間違っていますよ。
わらわが何を間違えたというのか。
あなたの勝利はバトラ君を屈服させることではありませんよ。バトラ君にあなたという存在を認めてもらうことではありませんか？
なんとバトラにゴマをすって わらわを魔女と認めてください、お願いしますと頼み込めというのか。
North Wind and the Sun. I definitely heard that before. I mean, yeah. Beatrice surely has been blowing winds in Battler's direction, and it is proving to be less effective now, so I guess that means she has to do things in a different way. However, like, I do not understand Beatrice's confusion over here of sorts. She's totally acting as if she doesn't know her own goals here. Whereas before, I was thinking that Beatrice has some sort of grand, big plan for Battler. Reason why we're all going through this in the first place, like debating her over these magical and human scientific claims, trying to solve the epitaph and such, like making all the adults think of the epitaph and trying to solve it, including Battler as well. Like, as I mentioned before, that I'm thinking that Beatrice is pushing Battler towards something very specific that I'm not aware of, including maybe trying to solve the epitaph himself. That's something that I have been thinking of in the past, but here she's acting as if she's a little child that is trying to make Battler submit to her in a very childish way, whereas it seems like Virgilia over here knows better than Beatrice. It kind of makes you feel like Beatrice doesn't have like a huge grand plan of hers of some sorts, and she's asking for advice from her master, from her old master. I mean, unless this is another magical vision of some sorts, in which case any of this stuff can be fake, but if I am to start thinking about it yet again, I don't even know what to think of at this point. Actually, I mean, if I am to start thinking that way about magical claims and such, about the magic vision, that will mean that, like, if I'm to think of this particular moment over here as a magic vision, since I'm seeing it myself, that would mean that Beatrice wants me to see this, which I guess it makes sense, but I'm not sure if that is even the case. I don't know. Battle growled, like a dog in a bad mood. Arr! Virgilia shrugged her shoulders, stinking at her disciple, who was as short-tempered as always.
ヒントは出しました。あとはあなたがよく考えることですよ。いずれにせよ、バトラ君にこれまでの手は通用しません。相当の戦略転換が必要になるでしょう。
言われずとも分かっておる。北風と太陽の話は何が言いたいのかさっぱりだが、とにかく方針を変えねばならぬことは分かった。
Well, I guess that is indeed a tactic. Yeah. Unless... you know, before I did think that Beatrice let Virgilia help Battler with the Braun tube explanation. I mean, It makes the most logical sense if you are to think about it. Battler was in the dumps. Like he wouldn't make his turn. And thus, it would never be Beatrice's turn. And that is definitely not what she wants. So, what does she do? She lets Virgilia become Battler's ally to explain the Bron Tube, and then continue the battle onward. I mean, that is what I'm getting out of it. But if I am to start thinking about this seems pretty similar to the North Wind and the Sun situation. Okay, I'm back right over here, but yeah, this makes me think of the North Wind and the Sun situation over here that they are talking about. Because when you think about it, Beatrice was blowing winds in Battler's direction, and look what it resulted in Battler once again not making his move because he was so overwhelmed by what was going on. He was sitting on that chair near the table and he wasn't gonna do his next move, and thus it would never be Beatrice's move, and that would certainly not be good. So what does Beatrice do? She lets Virgilia help Battler in similar fashion to the Sun by helping him with the advice, and thus they achieve some better result than what Beatrice was doing before with the bullying and such. That is the analogy that I'm getting out of this. But here they are talking as if Beatrice is not even aware of this North Wind and the Sun situation, or she hasn't even thought about it that way. Maybe... Oh god. Okay, you know what? I'm not even gonna beat around the bush at this point. Like, I'm just gonna say this. I like Virgilia, but I won't lie when I say that at times the words "too good to be true" keep popping in my head, when I certainly do not want that. You know, it's as if at times I really do feel like I do not deserve good things in life. And when I have something good in my hands, life goes out of its way to hit me in the face and just take it away. Just take away what was good for me. In which case, it would be Virgilia. Yeah.
お師匠様もあっと驚くような奇策を披露してみせるぞ。それは楽しみですね。バトラ君はそれにどう挑むのかしら。あなたの健闘も祈っていますよ。
バトラのついでにでは
もう投げ出して降参？そんなに眠いならお布団かぶって眠っちゃえば？
As my consciousness grew vague and I pretended to fight my drowsiness, sinking deeper and deeper into the sofa, I scolded myself.
あんなにもクラウスから当主の座を奪ってやりたいって夢見てきたんでしょ？そのチャンスを私の魔法が与えたのに、あなたはもう放り投げちゃうの？
そうは言うけれど、この謎は本当に難解よ。知恵の輪の方がまだマシだわ。
解けるってことが絶対に約束されているもの。でもこの碑文の謎はそれすらも約束されているかわからない。私は挑むだけ無駄な勝負を挑んでるのかもしれない。
Still hazy, I looked at the notebook which I had been holding the whole time. It was open to the page with the epitaph, which I had stared at, almost burned a hole through it. On so many hundreds of nights I had lost count. That is truly a door. On the other side is the Golden Land, that place which ever since I was a child I've wished to reach. I've spared no effort to reach, and I've never been able to reach. Here I am with both hands upon the door, and even though the book, no, the door is open, I still cannot reach the other side.
そうよ。あなたは扉に手をかけている。さあ、それを力いっぱい開くの。そしてその扉に書かれた文字を読むのよ。
Read the characters written in the door. Yeah, I guess that is another confirmation for what I thought of before. Whether we're talking metaphorically or literally over here.
力いっぱい開く。扉に書かれた文字を読む。
Strain your eyes. See through to what lies further beyond the epitaph written in the notebook.
懐かしき故郷は私たちの想像をきっと裏切らないわ。お父様が唯一懐かしむ過去は少年時代だけだもの。
そうね。
Uh-oh. Wait, I am noticing something over here. Home of old. Home of gold. Huh.
なら、鮎の川は？それが泳ぐ川は複数あるし、お父様が住んでいた場所のすぐ近くにあったかは怪しい。鮎の生息するどの川が地図上距離的に近いかなんて話になると急に曖昧になって特定ができなくなる。
自分で言ったじゃない。水の流れる川かどうかわからないって。鮎という言葉がそんなにもややこしいなら忘れてしまえば。川で考えるの。川で。家系図という連想は悪くないわ。その要領で川から連想するものを他にも考えてみて。
川じゃなくて？川じゃなかったら鮎は泳げないのに？ああ、でも鮎が泳げるってことは海までつながってるのかしら。川魚だけど海に出るってうちの人も言ってたし。海まで。いえ、でも
気づいた？でもうろ覚えなの。ここには書庫があったはず。
で？
調べれば確認できるわ。
それが鮎の川なら、そして鍵は6文字の単語かもしれないなら、鍵が本当にその川に眠ってるというの？
So she's going with the idea that the 6-character word is truly in the river. But could it be that the Sweetfish River is not actually a true river? I mean, if that's the case, and we're going with something else, it kind of ruins what I have been thinking of before. I don't know. Anyway, I have to search in an atlas. But even if I know that, I don't know from what I should take the 6 characters.
本当にわからないの？よく考えて。私たちは下手に頭がいいから発想が硬いのよ。 気分の謎なんて大層に考えないで子供の謎だと思って。男なんていくつになったって子供なの。お父様が老境に差し掛かったとしても心の中の本質的な部分は子供と何も変わらない。お父様への畏怖を捨てるの。マリアが船の中で突然出してくるようなくだらなくて低俗な謎遊びだと思って。
謎くだらない低俗な。あれは確かなんだっけ。
Sure, if my memory isn't wrong, that was probably... No, I don't have to rely on my vague memory. I should be able to figure that out immediately too by searching in the archive.
私たちは多分もう答えに気づいてるわ。あとはそれが正しいか調べるだけよ。さあエヴァ、誰にも気づかれないように書庫へ。あそこにはお父様の書斎から溢れ出した硬い本が山積みよ。きっと私たちの疑問に答えてくれる本が見つかるわ。急いで。これが生涯で最初で最後の私たちの夢の叶うチャンス。
When Natsuki tried to lay a blanket over her, Eva suddenly jumped up.
ごめんなさい。起こしてしまいましたね。
エヴァ、眠いなら無理をしなくていいぞ。お前から休みなさい。
ありがとう。ちょっとお化粧室に行って顔を洗ってくるわね。
無理をせんと休んだ方がええで。また体に触るで。
本当に大丈夫だってば。すぐ戻るわね。
Leaving only those words behind, I left the lobby at a brisk pace. Huh. Could it be that Eva is truly on a good path here? Man, there sure is a golden opportunity over here. I really need to be careful about this. The lobby was partitioned off by a door, so as soon as I went into the corridor, they could no longer see me. The archive was next to the servant room. Our father always owned a vast book collection. But after he started to become engrossed with his occult hobby, his library of those kinds of books grew even larger, so that the normal books suitable for a normal study had been forced out as his study overflowed. This archive was where those normal books were stored. They were all stiff books for intellectuals, like complete volume sets of encyclopedias. But it was very convenient for me, now that I was investigating something. I entered softly, and just in case, I checked the room with my gun ready, making sure that there were no suspicious people there. Then I locked it from the inside. I actually wasn't thinking that the murderer might be hiding somewhere. What scared me was my fear that one of the siblings might hear what I was investigating. My heart had started jumping. I had been half asleep until a short time ago, so I hadn't been able to realize how significant this thing I had realized was. But as I started to become aware, my heart started feeling like it was about to explode. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm having goosebumps here.
これ、他の兄弟たちは誰も気づいてないのかしら。
クラウスとルドルフは気づかないと思うわ。でもキリエはわからない。あいつおかしな勘が鋭いわ。あとはローザもわからない。
ローザもグドンよ。昔っから呆れるくらいにね。
そう？あなたにグドンと思い込ませて不必要な恨みを買わない程度には賢いと思ってる。
あった。これになら乗ってるかしら。
I pulled the book out and flipped through the pages.
これ鮎の皮。
なるほど、鮎の皮とはそういう意味なのね。もたもたしないでさらに調べて。
分かってる。川を下ればやがて里あり。
Sato.
里って町や村って意味。人口密集地だもの。そんなのいくらでもあるわよ。
Densely populated area.
どうして思考を停止するの？嫌ならやめちゃえば？後ろ宮家の当主は桐江に譲っちゃえば？
嫌よ。私が当主になるの。これがその最初で最後のチャンスなのよ。里って何？里ってどういう意味？この川を下ると里なんてあるの？
その里にて二人が口にし岸を探れ。岸を？分かってる？
Kishi.
分かってる。
All those pieces that I haven't been able to understand were right before my eyes, starting to snap into place all by themselves. I couldn't even remember to close my open mouth. My throat grew completely dry. Is it really alright for this to be the answer? Really? Really?
でもこれは全然6文字じゃないわ。これが答えに間違いないって断言できるけど、これは全然6文字に満たない。
また思考停止？ならそれを6文字で読める方法を考えなさい。思いつかないなら調べなさい。きっと答えはある。それを疑ってはダメ。それが信じられないならとっとと泣き寝入りでもしてへそでもかんで死んじゃえば。
1、2、3、4、5、6文字つけた。これが黄金鏡への鍵。それが黄金鏡への、私たちの子供の頃からの夢への鍵。その鍵を刺す鍵穴はあそこしかない。
I can't believe it. Is Eva truly gonna solve the epitaph here? Like this early on? No way. There has to be some catch here. Like I definitely need to check the map like right now. Like I have to.
生贄に捧げるのはきっともうわかるよね。
Alright. Stay calm. Stay calm and think this through. The place that keeps popping in my head. It must be that. The adults seem to know what that place is. And, well, because of all the investigation I did on the epitaph back in the first game, I did manage to gather some locations that fit the word Sweetfish River. Or rather, the word freshwater. Like, it must be Taiwan, isn't it? Like, I found the Tamsui River there, from what I remember. Eva said that she went on a vacation, and that the townscape had changed completely from Kinzo's time, which can very well be a city in Taiwan where the Tamsui River is, where the freshwater river is, like Taipei, New Taipei, Taoyuan City, and so on. The reason for the change in townscape must be because of the new developments, because of some war that happened there, which is also what Eva said. That war could be the Korean War. It is said in this that the US, including General Douglas MacArthur, which we heard of in the first game, were trying their damnedest to protect Taiwan from the communists, with naval battles happening at the Taiwan Strait, which could have affected the city of Taipei as well in the process. Thus, new developments might have happened because of it. Or if it's not the Korean War, maybe it is the first and the second Taiwan Strait crisis. There's also those. Okay, well, moving on. Rudolph mentions how any stream that Kinzo innocently went sweet fish fishing was probably buried by the development. Not only does he mention the developments as well, but also how there are multiple streams, possibly referring to how the Tamsui River has so many branches. Also, Hideyoshi mentions how sweet fish are like salmon. They are freshwater fish, but they go into the ocean right after they are born. And when they get big, they return to the river to live there, and they spawn there and end their lives. If we are to look at the map over here of Tamsui River, the fish would have much easier access to the ocean and back into the river than any other locations I have thought of thus far, including the Yalu River that leads into the Heaven Lake. Eva also mentions much later, when talking to her younger self, how the area is densely populated, meaning that the river has to go through the city, through the townscape. So with all that, it has to be Taiwan, right? It has to be here in Taipei. I have thought of the Yellow River leading to Heaven Lake as the likely answer, but it sure doesn't fit the description of the adults as much as the Tamsui River in Taipei, so that has to be it. The only way to find out if I'm right is to see if I can find something by looking at the river, and this time with a different knowledge in my hands. I don't have to find a village or a shore or something. I need to find some place of sorts along the river that has the character of village. Like maybe even shore. Like the Sato and the Kishi. That very well could be it. Like I need to look at this map more than I did before. And focus on this, see if I can find something. Come on, location of the key. Like I've been checking the map for a while. Like I even checked the Keelung River and the other directions the Tamsui River goes. The first thing that comes to mind is the church that Kinzo made here in Rokajima. So, as I said before, maybe I'd find it here, but that's definitely not the case, it seems. Like there are only temples from what I've seen. And none has the Sato character. There are also quite a lot of schools that I've seen here. But hold on a second, something interesting here is shown. There is a station over here at the beginning of Tamsui River that is also called Tamsui. The Tamsui Station. So it makes me think, maybe it truly isn't literally freshwater river. Maybe it's freshwater station. And the passage the two will tell you of from the epitaph may symbolize the two lines that trains use to go from one place to another, like the rails. That could very well be it. Also, since Kinzo made the epitaph after 1967, especially after the developments, it could be possible he was thinking of this maybe. Maybe. Hell, if I am to look over here, there's an entire district called Tamsui, so I can totally check that, but... Alright, Tamsui Station seems like a promising thing, so might as well go with that. Like, no harm in checking this. But in that case, what am I supposed to look at? The temples? Well, there's a stations between Tamsui and Xiangshan. Let's see. Hongshilin, Sohei. I mean, that has 6 characters. Guandu, Zongyi, Fuxinghang. Daito has 6 characters. Kilian has 6 characters. Shipai has 6. Mingde, is it? Hold on. Let me go back here a second. Kilian? my goodness gracious! This has to be it! The key! The 6-character key! This has to be it, isn't it? It cannot be a coincidence, is it? I was right about Tansui and Taiwan! Okay, good. Okay, so you have the key. Now what am I supposed to do with the key? Ah yeah, okay, so take the characters from Quadrillion. I mean, technically we already used the second Twilight. The two who are close, meaning the rails, as I said before. So maybe we should move on to the third Twilight. Those who remain shall praise my noble name. Okay, so there must be a connection between Kinzo's name and the remaining letters. Okay, well, let's see what we can get. I am stuck again.